Hi everybody, welcome to Push Your Luck video. My name is Eric and today we'll be looking at the Grizzled. Now this English version is released in 2015 by Cool or Not, and the French version was released last year, I believe, at Essen. And so the Grizzled is a 2 to 5 player game and plays about 30 to 40 minutes. It is a co-op game. Players play the roles of French foot soldiers in World War I, and they are cooperating together to try to survive missions, daily missions, so that they're trying to survive until they can see the armistice or see the peace and survive and go back to their villages together. Now, I was first drawn to this when I saw the artwork, and you can see the artwork is nice. It's really very nice. It's like a cartoon drawing, but it's done very nicely. And for the theme that it's trying to portray, it is done very. There's a certain sense of elegance, a certain sense of style as well. It doesn't make it too comical, too cheesy. It is very elegant. I really like the theme, the art style, and the theme of the game as well. The theme is something new. We don't usually have a lot of World War I games that are easy to get into. They are not war games. So I was very drawn to it by the art first and the theme second. And if you weren't aware, the artist that did the theme, art by Tignos. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrongly. He passed away sadly in the French terrorist attack in the Charlie Hebdo offices. And so the Grizzled is designed by Fabian Rufford and Juan Rodriguez. So I think Juan Rodriguez had designed other games as well, if you check on BGG. But I think this is Fabian's first design effort. So yeah, as I mentioned, it is a 2 to 5 player game. Let's take a look at how do you play the game and my thoughts about the game. So this is what you get in the game of the Grizzled. Now, first and foremost, I must bring your attention to the art. That's everywhere in the box and on the cards of the game. So as I show you, this is the box of the game. You can see that it is very nicely done. What can I say about art? But I'll just let the picture speak 1,000 words and let you take a look at the art itself. You can see that this is the bottom half of the box. All right. And you can see that this is like where armistice is. So you're trying to reach armistice, which corresponds to this card here as well. You're trying to reveal these cards and make sure that all of your hands are empty so that you can win the game. And then this is the general mobilization part. So you can see that it's like a conscription. So as per the theme of the game, the players are like friends of this particular village, and you have been conscripted to join the army. And so what you're trying to do, you're trying to survive together, to go through the war, survive together, the Great War, survive together and try to make it to the end. So that is the theme of the game, and you can see the rulebook is also dripping with theme. I mean, like for example, you can see the intention note. It says that at the same level as literature and cinema, games are a cultural medium which is undeniably participative. There are no subjects it can't broach, though some are more delicate than others. The life of the Grizzled is one of those. Guided by the deepest respect that the suffering endured by these men has inspired us, we designed and tweaked this game with this constant concern. In this earnest endeavor, we have chosen to focus on the individual with his preoccupations and his daily fears. The only escape for the men we have portrayed is to use their solidarity, their brotherhood, and mutual assistance to save one another. Without even touching on the warlike aspect, the Grizzled offers each player the chance to feel some of the difficulties suffered by the soldiers in the trenches. Thus, the emotions around the table will often be intense. The path to victory may seem difficult, but don't get discouraged. Persist and survive the Great War. It is so apt. I mean, this is one of the rule books that I have read that really captured the whole essence of the game and brought me into the game itself. As you know, that I like mostly Euro style games, so I seldom really care about the theme of the whole game, but this brought me into it. And there's a little note as well. Some of the characters in this game were real people. Some are the ancestors of people who worked on this game. The Grizzled is is a homage to all men who lived through this tragic period. So it is so apt and so wonderful to just read this little piece of tidbit of information in this rule book. I feel that this is how, if you want to add like thematic facts and factoids into your rule book, this is how you should do it. It will help to bring the player into the game without having too many words. It helps to bring a point across to players as well as they play the game. And I hope that if you're teaching the game to your friends, and you make sure to mention this to them as well. Now, talking about people who are in the actual war, I've tried to Google online to find out. So these are the players that these are the characters that players will play. I tried to Google online to find out whether there's any facts about them. The only closest one I can find is this Lazare Ponticelli, and on Google it's like Pon instead of B, and apparently he's like the oldest surviving. He was the oldest surviving French foot soldier from World War One. So he was like 110 when he passed away in 2008, which was just a few years ago. So I mean, those are the information I can find. I'm not sure whether I can find any others, but this was the only one I can find. And so the game essentially is, you'll see that there are cards that you can play. So these are the character cards you have. This is the start and the end card. These are cards that will be playing from your hand. These are the main cards which you deal with. This is the wooden leadership. Not wooden, sorry. This is the cardboard leadership. Whoever's leader will be having this in front of him. And there will be speeches as well. So these are speech tokens. And these are withdrawal tokens. So these are like coffee tokens when you withdraw during the game. So components are very nice. It's pretty cool for such a small box. That it feels just nice. Everything feels nice. The art, having good art, I can tell now, having good art really adds a lot to the game. Oh, you have also one big sort of like a player aid, a game aid, which is quite big. It was not necessary to have such a big player aid, but I can see the draw of it. I mean, it's like a nice mouse, well, the small mouse pad at least. So it's pretty cool. So, how do you play the game of Grizzled? I've gushed enough about the components and the art. Let's go to the game itself. So, how do you play the game of Grizzled? Now, we are trying to. There'll be cards at the beginning on both stacks of these cards. So this will be actually on here, and then this will be on this stack will be on here. Now, you are trying to reveal this card, which shows the armistice, like peace. World War One has ended. So you're trying to empty this stack of cards as well as your hand of cards. Once you do that and your hand is empty, then you win the game. You're trying to prevent this card from revealing. Now, if you look at this card, this is actually like a monument, a gravestone that has all the characters' names on it. So it's I was explaining this the first time, I went, oh wow, it really hit me how much impact or how much, I don't know, it's like the fact that our names are actually written on this monument. It hit me quite deep. It's like when I first played Freedom the Underground Railroad, the point of it all kind of hit me in the face when I started playing the game. So right at the beginning, each player will be given one of this. You can choose which character you want. Each character has a lucky charm. So I'll explain what this does later on. But it's usually one use in a game, and then after you use it, you flip over the other side. There are ways to refresh yourself again, so I'll explain those later on. Each player will also have one of these coffee cup tokens, which one left and one right. So let me get the right one left and one right. Alright, then depending on number of players, the rest of them will be randomly shuffled and given one to each player. So each player will have 3 right at the beginning. So you will during the game, whoever is the most grizzled, in this case whoever is the most hairiest, will be the start leader. The start leader will choose initial threat level. So at the start of every game, every round, whoever is the leader will choose a initial threat level. So the threat level will represent how many cards each player will have at the start of each round. So the minimum for the first round, however, is 3. So you can go higher than that, but the minimum is There's 3. So you will hand cards to everyone. So there are 3 cards. Now the cards will have 6 symbols on the cards. They are the bullet, which is 1 symbol. The background is also 1 symbol. So this is a snow landscape. This is a night landscape. This is the gas mask, and this is a phobia card, which is a different card. There are some cards which have 2 symbols like this. This means that you ignore this background because this background is not part of the symbol. There's also a rainy day, which is 1 symbol. There's a whistle as well, and I think I covered quite a lot of symbols already. This means that this card has 3 symbols on it, which is usually quite a bad card to have. And is there anything else I missed out? Yeah, I think that's most of the symbols. So what you are trying to do is you are playing a card in front of in the common area, which is like no man's land. So you're playing a card down. Now you can play a card. Alright, so the actions that you can do is you can play a trial card, which is play a card down. Alright, you can either play a card down into no man's land, or if you're playing a hard knock card, which is this type of cards with the lightning, or this lightning symbol there, you're playing it onto your character. Alright, that means it's a personal card. So you can either play a card, alright, use a good luck charm. So if you use a good luck charm, which is the good luck charm on this character here, it will remove a card in no man's land that has that symbol. So if I had a whistle symbol card here, I can remove this card. Or use a speech. So speech are given to the previous leader. So after the first round, the first round leader will have this speech token. So what you do when you use a speech token, you will tell everyone, like, my friends, don't be afraid. And you can tell, my friends, don't be afraid of the bullet. So all players, including the person who played the speech token, can discard 1 card from their hand that has a bullet symbol. So for example, if I had this card in my hand, I can discard this card. So that's playing a speech, using a speech. You can also withdraw and play a support tile. So when you withdraw, you're out of this round, and you then choose one of the support tokens that you have, and you put it face down onto your character. So during the game, players are not allowed to reveal what cards they have, or reveal what support tokens they have and what they are intending to play. But you can certainly discuss certain things. And what seems to be an interesting thing among players when we play is that we start to form stories like, oh, there was a lot of shelling and it was a rainy day, for example. Then another player will play this and say, oh, I have become very selfish. I do not know why, but I become very selfish. And another player may play this and say, oh, I am now so traumatized by the rain. It's always constantly raining. So it's very interesting how players started to get into the story of the game. And now, what you're trying to do when you're playing these cards is you're trying not to get 3 of the same symbols appear either on the entire board. So be it on a hard knock card or on a no man's land, you should not have 3 of the same symbol. So for example, in this case, nobody else can play another card with a rainy day symbol. Otherwise, you will lose your mission. So if you fail your mission, you will instantly end that particular round. Alright. Otherwise, you keep playing, trying to play as many cards as you want, and choose when to withdraw. So once all players have withdraw is like passing. So once all players have passed, what will happen is that you check whether you completed the mission. So if you have completed your mission, you will now reveal the support card that you have and pass this support token based on the arrows that you have. So there's left, then there's right, then there's 2 left and 2 right. So you just pass it to the player. After you have all passed your tokens, you see who has a majority. If one player has a majority, then that player will get the bonus. If there's no majority, then no one will get the bonus. So what if one player has a majority and the mission was successful? So what happens is that player will get to discard either 2 hard knock cards or reactivate their good luck charm, which means that they can now flip over their character to be able to use the good luck charm again. If you fail, then you only get to remove one hard knock card. After you're done, so preparation was dealing out the cards, which is the threat level. Then mission was when we were playing cards here. Then support is this part here. Now morale drop is we will now see how many cards we have left in our hand. Alright, and then we'll move trial cards from here over to the other side. So every round we are always emptying this set of cards here, which will bring us closer to the game end, where we'll lose. And moving cards over here, where we're trying to empty. So it kind of helps us to keep pace in the game. So usually what happens is we'll count the number of cards we have in our hand and then move them from here over to the other side. However, if you have less than 3 cards in total amongst the players in your hand, then you still have to move a minimum of 3 cards from here over to the other side. So in a way, the game helps to keep pace of how long the game will last, and it usually will not last more than 30 minutes or so. Yeah. Then you change the mission leader and you give a speech. You change the mission leader and give a speech to the previous leader. So again, when you win when the piece card is visible and there are no cards in hand. However, you lose if one person has four hard knock card symbols in front of them. Alright, after the support phase, or if the monument card is visible. So once you do that, then everybody loses and the game is over. So that's how you play the Grizzled. I'll go to my final thoughts and talk more about the game. So that's how you play the Grizzled. Now, what do I think about the Grizzled? I really like the game. I would definitely recommend this game. I do not really play a lot of co-op games, mostly because of the alpha leader problem, but the Grizzled handles that easily by forbidding us to speak about it. But at the same time, doesn't mean that the game is very quiet. For some strange reason, when we start playing the game, we all started to form stories about the game itself. I do not know whether it is a need for us to reenact it or role play it, but when we start playing cards, we start talking about it. Oh, I'm now traumatized. It's been raining the whole day, and I'm now traumatized. So I'll add this card to myself. And it is pretty interesting how it evokes feelings as well, and we start to feel slightly depressed, as it is for people who were in the Great War itself. Like when we played a game with Eric Samara, and he was making an Eeyore voice, and oh no, oh no, I'm now more depressed. Oh no, I can't speak now when we played the mute card, for example. So it's pretty interesting how, even though we're trying our best to succeed, all right, the feeling, like it's slightly feeling a bit more depressing. Oh no, the game is starting to end soon, but we may not be able to make it. We're not sure whether we can still make it or not. So the whole theme of the game leaks through the cards. Even though it's just simple cards, you're playing a card game and you're trying to empty a deck. I mean, you could have rethemed it something else differently. I mean, it could be just some alien space thing. But the very fact that they use this World War I theme and with these characters, I mean, it really hit something in me. It really touched my heart when I played the game. So it definitely enhances your experience when you play the game as well. One card I did not cover. Most of the cards in the game are all bad. Right? There's 2 or 3 that's even worse. I think there's one that shows 6 different symbols, so that's really bad. There's only one good card ever in the game, and that's Merry Christmas, which means that you will remove a hard knock card, and someone else also remove their hard knock card. I did not explain this card. There's this little trap symbol here. It means that when you play this card, you need to draw one card from the trial deck, or from the deck that is belonging to the Armistice side, and play immediately. So it is a bit tricky to play this card, but you definitely receive this card one time or another in the game, so you have to know when to be able to play this. I do, as I mentioned in Joe Eddie's playthrough video at GenCon, I do wish that there was an easy way to keep track of the symbols, but it's not so bad that it starts to get confusing. Most of the time people will start to remind everyone, oh, you know that we already played 2 whistles and 2 rainy days, so we make sure to not play the whistle or rainy day kind of thing. The good thing is that if you withdraw early, alright, then your symbols no longer count towards the common symbol count. Alright, so if you have a lot of symbols with you, you might consider withdrawing early so that you will not hurt the rest of the team. So these are the different cooperative actions that you can take. You need to look around. Who should I help next? Who can I help? At the same time, you also want to try to deplete your hand of cards so that we can all win the game. I've played with 3, 4, and 5 so far, and they all feel the same. There's not much difference, except for if you play, I think we play 3 player, it does the missions feel a bit shorter. The rounds seem to go much more frequently because there's only so many cards you can play, and with 3 players, seems that we do not get to deplete the card as fast as if you play the 4 or 5. But even if you get to deplete your cards faster, doesn't necessarily mean you win, because you need to empty your hand of cards. So it's always, there's a very nice, elegant balance of like difficulty and ease of play that you can find in the Grizzled. So one last thing I would like to mention was that like the last game that I played, we almost made it. 4 of us, we almost made it. We cleared our hands, we cleared the deck. I had in front of me 4 hard knock card symbols, and so if they had the right support cards to support tiles to play, they would have passed it to me, and I would have managed to clear 2 of them, and we have won. But as I think planning or luck would have it, one of them had only like turn left to the left tokens, and one of them had to the right tokens, and none of them were passing it to me. So in the end, we all lost because I was too scared. I was too paranoid, too scared. I was too distraught, and so we could not complete the game, and we did not win. But even then, that felt so good. It was like, oh, so close, and I definitely want to try this game again. So do check it out. I highly recommend the Grizzled. It is one of the best games that I've played from GenCon 2015. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!